Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. A quick preview of today's docket. First, is there a break in the missing case of child Harmony Montgomery? Paul Pelosi, we'll see if there's going to be some equal justice for all, because after all, we're all equal, but some are more equal than others. Alex Murdaugh, the jail calls that have been released so far are quite damning. Britney Spears Ex, he made a couple of mistakes. Did Amber Heard just commit defamation against Johnny Depp again? An example of lawyer. And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. Harmony Montgomery. That's the case of the young missing girl. Well, several law enforcement officers for multiple agencies have responded to Manchester, New Hampshire home in connection with the Harmony Montgomery investigation. Now, Harmony was officially reported missing by her mother in December of 2021, although Harmony had been not seen for 2 years. Now, court documents released earlier this year indicate that police received a call from Harmony's biological mother, Crystal Sorey, on November 18th of 2021, who claimed her daughter was missing. Sorey told police that Harmony's father had physical custody of the girl and she couldn't get in touch with him. Sorey added that she lost custody of Harmony in 2018 due to her own drug addiction issues. Adam Montgomery, according to Sorey, blocked her calls and blocked her from social media and didn't allow her to speak to Harmony after roughly Easter of 2019. Now, the New Hampshire police reached out to the New Hampshire Department of Child Services to locate Adam, but by December 27th, 2021, the agency couldn't find him either. Police began searching for Adam Montgomery when they learned that Harmony had not been physically seen since October or November of 2019. Police also spoke to Adam's brother, Michael, who said that Adam abused Harmony and gave her a black eye. Police then reached out to Adam Montgomery's cousin, a guy by the name of Kevin, who witnessed the alleged incident. Kevin told investigators that Adam was upset at Harmony when her infant brother started crying because he told her, Harmony, to keep an eye on him. In anger, Adam allegedly spanked Harmony, made her scrub a toilet with a toothbrush, and forced her to stand in the corner for hours. Well, this morning, the FBI, the Manchester Police, and the United States Marshals and the State Attorney General's office arrived at the home off of Union Street where Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, and his wife, Kayla, once lived. So back in December of 2021, police located Adam Montgomery sleeping in a car in New Hampshire with his current girlfriend. The girlfriend told police that Adam never once talked about Harmony. Investigators interviewed Kayla Montgomery, who said she had not spoken to Adam Montgomery since roughly November of 2021, and that she hadn't seen Harmony since late of 2019. Adam told police that Harmony's mother came to pick her up in Manchester, New Hampshire around Thanksgiving in 2019 and he hadn't seen his daughter since. Police have stated that many of Adam's statements were inconsistent and secretive in nature. He'd reply with things like, I have nothing to say, and if I'm not under arrest, I'm not leaving, which are legitimate questions, not necessarily secretive, just saying. Now, Adam was arrested and charged with assault for the 2019 incident. Then earlier this month, he was charged with 8 more firearm-related charges. So far, no one has been charged in relation to Harmony's disappearance. Meanwhile, Kayla Montgomery has also been arrested earlier this year on fraud charges for allegedly continuing to collect government benefits for Harmony, even though she was not living with them anymore. In May, Kayla was also charged with receiving stolen firearms. Kayla was released on bail on May 6th of this year. Now, prior to the gun charge, prosecutors said they had made a plea deal with her on the fraud charges. The details of the plea were not released, but a hearing was scheduled for June 9th. The status of the plea deal is unclear considering the new charges. And the investigation is still ongoing, and we'll bring you the latest updates as they come available. Now, a couple of photos that were somewhat interesting was the fact that the police were unloading a refrigerator and taking it inside the residence that they were going to search. that obviously has new tenants in there right now. Police were also seen carrying in evidence preservation items that look like cans of paint, but they're like an aluminum can. So obviously they're looking for something. Now remember, for the police to go in, they either have to have A, consent from the parties that live there, or B, a search warrant. Now, one could possibly speculate, and I know we don't like to speculate here, but the reality of it is that, well, you know, maybe the ex-wife, as her plea deal comes to fruition and she realizes that she could be going to prison for a long time on those gun charges, that maybe she thought it was time to come clean and help herself and probably provide some new information. Speculation, we will have to wait and see. Like many Americans, we got a dog during the pandemic. My quarantine dog, Miss Winnie the Bulldog. Now, Miss Winnie has grown accustomed to being around us all the time. When we were leaving the house, Winnie would have extreme anxiety, so we decided to look for natural products to help with her anxiety. We looked for the highest quality CBD treats, and we were not satisfied, and neither was Winnie. So we created a high-quality CBD product that absorbs faster and provides the required results faster. Baked in Colorado, CBD treats and beverage enhancers are made with nanotechnology. The nanotechnology makes the CBD extraction more pure, also allows for Baked in Colorado products to work faster. Baked in Colorado products can help reduce your pet's anxiety, ease joint pain, and help with your dog's skin problems. Go to our online store and see what Baked in Colorado product is best for your dog. When you order at bakedincolorado.com, enter code WINNIE and receive 15% off your first order. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If your dog does not experience the desired results in 30 days, return the product and we will refund your money. No questions asked. Next on the docket, Paul Pelosi. That's right. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, was arrested for drunk driving roughly 2 weeks ago, and his mugshot was finally released. Now, Mr. Pelosi was arrested just before midnight on May 28th in Napa County, California, and the 82-year-old charged with one count of driving under the influence and another for driving with a blood alcohol content level of 0.08 or higher. Now, he was returning to his and Nancy's vineyard called River Run from a dinner party when a man driving a 2014 Jeep crashed into Paul Pelosi's Porsche. Paul was booked around 4 a.m. and released a few hours later. And Mr. Pelosi's bail was set at $5,000 for the two misdemeanors. He has not yet been formally charged, and the local district attorney's office said last week that it has not decided what, if any, charges will be filed against him. The California Highway Patrol denied a public records request seeking the release of the body and dashboard camera video documenting the bust, saying it could jeopardize the investigation. And ladies and gentlemen, that is probably one of the biggest lies I've ever heard told. Okay, police are quite familiar with DUI investigations. They can do DUI investigations. The same officers can do multiple DUI investigations on a nightly basis. The body cam video is downloaded. It's saved. They write their report. They talk about why they made contact in this particular case with Mr. Pelosi. It was an accident. They must have had reasonable suspicion to ask him to perform the tests. Probable cause was formed during the test or admissions made by Mr. Pelosi, whereupon he was arrested, where he's either usually given a citation or he is held and bonded out and charges would be filed shortly. It's not that complicated. And for 2 weeks to decide whether they're going to charge a DUI is frankly ridiculous. Even if there was a blood draw that was taken, normally probable cause has been established and the summons is issued and they wait for the BAC results. For the administrative hearing part, which is through the Department of Motor Vehicle to decide whether they're going to revoke your license for driving DUI. I don't understand why this is taking 2 weeks, but like I said, we're all equal under the law. But some of us are more equal than others. We'll see if that plays out or if there will, in fact, be equal justice for all. All right, quick reminder, like the video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment, and hit that bell so that you receive notifications when we go live or put up a new video. Remember, we'll be going live tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and we are going to discuss the news of the day and, frankly, anything you want to talk about, because it's your show and we'll answer your questions. All right, next on the docket. Remember those Alex Murdaugh phone calls that his attorneys were trying to keep from being released? Well, I bet they wish they had succeeded. Yes, they failed miserably, and the jailhouse calls have been released. And some of the first, well, they have Alex Murdaugh calling his younger brother, a guy by the name of John Marvin, and his son, Buster, from the Richland County Detention Center, warning them to move quickly. Murdaugh told John Marvin and Buster to sell off his assets before attorney Mark Tinsley could get at them, according to one of the hundreds or so of the recorded phone calls.
Yep. In court the other day, they made a big deal about things. They're going to be moving to try to prevent us from selling stuff. Right. We need to get as much as we can completed. I just know that they're getting ready to file, and I don't know if it's going to be a day or a week or, 2 weeks. They would theoretically have to serve me or Buster.
Now, Murdaugh's attorneys filed a complaint in federal court to block further release of these recordings, but the recordings have now been released. In the calls, it's clear that the family was working to keep money away from Alex Murdaugh's growing line of creditors. The money from the sale of his assets was being funneled to a debt allegedly owed to Palmetto State Bank by Alex and his father, Randolph Murdaugh III. And on October 21st, 2021, attorney Mark Tinsley, who is representing the family of Mallory Beach, was a day away from filing a motion to stop the Murdaugh family from liquidating Alex and Buster's assets. That motion, which the judge would rule in favor of at the beginning of November, also asked the court to place Alex's finances under a receivership. Mr. Tinsley told the court that Alex Murdaugh is not your average criminal and that the receivership is a process to protect everyone, including the people who may not even know that their money is missing yet. Did he nail that one? Well, Mr. Murdaugh told Buster on October 23, 2021, they can't serve you. I guess they can serve you individually to keep you from doing anything as a power of attorney, but that don't keep John Marvin from selling this stuff. That stuff ain't got titles, especially. During one of those first phone calls from jail, Alex told John Marvin to talk to Griffin about how much time they had. You might have to speak to Jim if you get a chance, Alex said, just to find out what kind of time frame he thinks before they get any kind of order preventing us from doing anything. In the meantime, John Marvin offered to purchase a dump truck and an excavator from his brother, saying that would be the easiest way to do the sale. And a call between Alex and Buster in November shows that Alex's feelings about keeping assets in the family. During the call, he told Buster that having John Marvin serve as a personal representative to Maggie's estate would be no different from Buster serving as the personal representative. And then on October 21 call, Alex told John Marvin not to buy the machinery, just to help me. John Marvin, who actually owns a heavy equipment rental and sales center, indicated he wasn't able to find a buyer for either piece of the equipment and thought he might as well just buy them off his brother. In a dozen of calls during his stay at the jail, Alex Murdaugh would remind family members that not only were their calls being recorded, they were being monitored. At one point during the October 21st call, both Alex and John Marvin were careful to signal that no shenanigans were afoot and that the arrangements, saying they were just doing everything by the book. It ain't like we're squirreling it away, Alex said. It's going to pay bank stuff. John Marvin handed over the phone to Buster, and Alex updated him on the impending motion and referred to Mark, which is believed to be Mark Ball, his former partner at Peters, Murdaugh, Parter, Elzeroth, and Dietrich, who, according to the calls, helped facilitate the sale of a boat for Alex. In another call, Buster expressed concern over the upcoming receivership hearing, and Alex tells Buster, I called John Marvin the other day to tell him he needed to do it as quickly as possible because they were going to be doing it in any day. This Eric Bland guy seems like a real charm. Alex replies, well, this is his 5 minutes in the sun, Alex tells Buster that he isn't sure there's anything that can be done, but he asked John Marvin to get in touch with Ball to get those funds and put it on that thing. The plan to sell off assets quickly appears to involve Alex's former law partner, Mark Ball, though according to the calls, Ball has not been returning the family's calls at the end of October. Buster told Alex John Marvin's too scared to do anything that's teetering. Alex replies, huh? I said John Marvin is too afraid to do anything that's teetering. You know what I mean. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do not know how many times I have told clients, do not talk about your case on the phone. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And it's being recorded. There is no expectation of privacy when you're in a detention facility. And these calls only go to show more consciousness of guilt of Alec Murdaugh trying to hide money from his creditors that he knew was coming. Now, Alex Murdaugh still is waiting charges on some 83 counts of theft. We'll give him the presumption of innocence, and we'll see how things shake out. Now, remember, if you want to listen to Crime Talk on the go, we're available on all of the podcasting apps. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify if you like the show. If you don't like the show, don't leave a review. All right, next on the docket, Britney Spears' ex-husband, well, he's made some mistakes. And an attorney for Britney Spears, a guy by the name of Matthew Rosengart, said that he is pleased at how serious the court is taking the case against Britney's ex-husband, Jason Alexander, for crashing her wedding last week. Now, a judge issued a restraining order against Mr. Alexander, and he cannot contact or bother Britney Spears in any capacity for at least the next 3 years. The judge also hit Mr. Alexander with a felony stalking charge. And Mr. Alexander has pled not guilty at his arraignment from the wedding crashing incident. Now, of course, he live streamed himself sneaking into Britney's compound, and the judge did set the bail at $100,000, and he will have to surrender any firearms that he may have in his possession. Not a good move, Mr. Alexander, that's for sure. All right, Amber Heard. The only thing that can be said about her is she is a high rep learner. She just does not get it, okay? Now, she sat down for an interview with the Today Show's Savannah Guthrie, and it aired in parts this morning. Now, Heard accused the jurors of being swayed by her ex-husband's fantastic acting on the stand. And when asked whether it was a lie when Depp said on the stand that he never hit her, Heard said, yes, it is, adding that she will stand by every word of her testimony until the day she dies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can be sued for defamation again if you repeat the same allegations that someone could determine to be false, and you can be sued again. Now, I don't know if Johnny Depp is going to sue her, but if I was his attorneys, I would be saying she did it again. And guess what? She would have no counterclaims this time through. So as the interview continued, Ms. Heard quickly clapped back at Guthrie when asked about the allegations made by Depp's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, that she had been performing on the stand and that she had lied about the abuse. Ms. Heard replied, says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers. I'm a performer. I had listened to weeks of testimony insinuating or saying quite directly that I am a terrible actress. So I'm a bit confused how I could be both. Heard also accused Depp lawyers Camille Vasquez and her partner Benjamin Chu of trying to distract the jury from the real issues during the trial, conceding that they had done a better job of that than her own legal team. Heard also suggested that the trial had called into question her First Amendment right to free speech, claiming that she had spoken her truth and spoken it to power, only to have ended up paying the price for that. Guthrie also asked her about the audio clips that were played during the 6-week trial in which Heard can be heard admitting to being physically abusive towards Johnny Depp. Ms. Heard insisted that she only ever responded to the physical violence but never instigated it. And Heard added that while she was so much regret over the horrible and ugly things she did and said to Mr. Depp, she was only acting as a person in an extreme emotional, psychological, and physical distress who felt that their life was at risk. Heard also went on to describe her marriage to and relationship with Mr. Depp as both ugly and beautiful, saying it was ugly and it could be beautiful. It was very, very toxic. We all knew that. She said that we made a lot of mistakes, but I've always told the truth. Now, the full interview will air later this week. And yes, that would be another republishing of the false allegation that Mr. Depp abused her. I can't imagine her attorneys told her this was a good idea. I know she got a new PR team, but this is bad move on her part. You got Johnny Depp saying that he may not even ask for the money that she is owed to him when you do the set-off. And he could just say, fine, let's go get it. This woman just doesn't get it. She's a high rep learner. An example of why you should always seek legal counsel when you think something's coming your way. That's right. Lawyer, lawyer, lawyer.
Lawyer, lawyer, lawyer.
Well, Shanna Fernandez, the ex-wife of a Microsoft executive who was shot and killed in front of his 2-year-old daughter, has hired criminal defense attorney and former president of the Florida bar, a guy by the name of Henry Cox. Now, Cox said he's been retained by Ms. Fernandez and her new husband, Mario, for the purpose of seeing if steps could be taken to protect their young twins from any publicity surrounding the tragic event. As for any other reason for the family to have or need counsel, whether it be myself or anyone else, there is none. Now, Fernandez, the daughter of Sterling and Shelley Gardner, who co-founded the Utah-based Stampin' Up! Paper crafts company, allegedly wooed Jared Brigden in 2009 with promises of a life of luxury from her parents' $100 million business. By 2015, the couple had moved to Brigden's native Jacksonville Beach with their twins, Abby and Liam. That's when the marriage broke up and apart from Fernandez, filing for divorce. Now, during the proceedings, Fernandez demanded exclusive occupancy of the family's home and custody of the twins, accusing Jared of threatening to withdraw cash from their children's trust funds for his own use. The divorce was apparently quite bitter, with arguments over custody, alimony, and child support that lasted over 6 years. Now, during which Shannon and Jared both got remarried. On February 16th, Jared had dropped the twins back at his ex-wife's house and was taking his regular route home when he pulled over to move a tire in the road, a trap, the police think, to lure him out of his car. Jared was shot multiple times at close range next to the driver's door of his Volkswagen Atlas. Jared's 2-year-old daughter was in the car at the time, strapped into the child seat. The community was shocked to hear that Jared, a devout Mormon and tech executive, was murdered. His widow called him a wonderful father to his twins, Liam and Abby, his daughter, Brexley, and their youngest daughter, London. Jared's 2-year-old reportedly still asks about the loud boom, referring to the gunshot she heard that killed her father. Now, according to reports, Shannon Fernandez did not attend his funeral, nor did the twins. Instead, she held a separate memorial several weeks later. Fernandez's mother took to social media to claim that Fernandez was uninvited to the funeral, and many comments were posted taking issue with these claims, to which Fernandez's mother cleared things up. Yes, Kristen offered to arrange to pick Liam up and Abby prior to the memorial service and then bringing them back, but since not one person from Jared's family, including his parents, had reached out to Liam and Abby, the twins didn't want to be without their mom. Now, no persons of interest have been named in this particular case, but when people start lawyering up, you certainly can't draw any negative inference from that, and obviously everyone is given the presumption of innocence, for sure. And finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Police in Nashville posted that 4 people from Texas were arrested for an alleged robbery of a man servicing a Bank of America ATM machine. The name of the 4 arrested were Darius Dugas, Sashandre Dugas, Christopher Alton, and Ladencian Riley. It is alleged that the 2 of the defendants approached the victim from behind and told him not to do anything stupid and hand over the money. Detectives were able to locate the getaway car at a Motel 6. Riley, who also goes by the rap name 213 Jug God, recently released a song on YouTube entitled Make It Home. The lyrics describe robbing ATMs out of state, having thousands of dollars in their vehicle, praying to avoid being caught up in a car chase, and making it home. The four are being charged federally, and the FBI is investigating whether they committed similar robberies elsewhere. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I guess your rap songs can also be confessions. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Definitely a dumb criminal for sure. Do not forget, please join us tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, where we will go live. We'll answer all of your questions. We hope to see you there. We'll see you next time on Crime Talk.